We've got some novel introductions coming up on today's house hunting journey.
Have you ever been overlooked by a blue moose before?
No, first time for everything.
There are pleasant surprises along the way.
Wow, it's amazing.
It's fun, isn't it?
I love it, yeah.
And we hit the nail on the head more than once.
Cosy enough?
It's lovely.
I think this is a bit of mum, for sure.
Yeah, good. Welcome to Escape to the Country. Today I'm in Suffolk. Now here's a conundrum for you. What is the difference between a lake and a pond? No idea? Well, you're in good company because in truth there is no formal distinction between the two. Now of course we tend to think of lakes as being bigger and deeper than ponds, but this is pertinent to our week here in Suffolk because it contains some 23,000 ponds, making it the most densely populated part of the country if ponds are your thing. Unless of course you think they're lakes.
The average price of a detached home in Suffolk is just under £375,000, which is around £18,000 less than you'll pay across the rest of England. There's something for everyone in the county, be that beautiful quiet beaches or more lively towns, where the streets are lined with high street chains, as well as independent shops selling locally crafted or locally grown produce.
I would recommend coming to Suffolk because, for a start, we're all very, very friendly. But also, there is quite a lot of choice in what you can do. So there's stuff for children, if you're a family, whatever you're looking for, whether you're looking to walk in forests, walk along rivers, history. There's so much to do that for whatever age, there is something for you.
The arts are popular across the county too. In the pretty coastal town of Aldborough, they're celebrated in an annual festival which was founded in 1948 by the world-famous composer Benjamin Britten.
We moved in 1990 to Suffolk, and I just feel that the whole pace of life just dropped. It's a much slower pace of life, and I love it here. I would say if you are moving to the area, to sort of get out and about, sort of explore the local area and just try some of the cafes. You sort of get to know an area and the people a bit more like that. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Great advice for both visitors and would-be residents.
Now, amongst other things, Suffolk is also famous, apparently, for being one of the most dog-friendly counties in the UK, which is great news for today's buyer, because not only is she making this move with her four-legged friend, she's also relocating her canine company here to Suffolk as well.
I have two children, Jordan, who's 26, soon to be 27, and Georgina, who's 24. They've flown the nest now, so now I'm on my own, well, me and Oscar, and now it's time to start a new chapter in my life.
Dog groomer Sam has spent the past 20 years living in Kent, and the last 12 have been in her four-bedroom semi-detached house close to Ramsgate.
So the house now has changed in a way from a family home to part of a new business for me. Well, I say new business, I've been doing it 6.5 years now. Before that, I was a PA and decided to have a career change, and I've transformed my garage into a dog grooming business, which I absolutely love. I'm quite lucky. I can take my business and I can do it any way we choose to go.
Sam's son Jordan lives in London, and daughter Georgina has been in Bungay in Suffolk for the past year. So, with a desire for a more rural life, Sam's decided that it's Suffolk, near Georgina, where she'd most like to be.
Us being very close, I started visiting pretty soon after she moved, and it's just the most beautiful place. The first time I visited, I remember so well, I literally got out of the car and there was a pheasant walking along the road, and it was just a light bulb moment, you know.
When my mum first told me that she was planning to move to Suffolk, it was the best news ever. I was so happy, and still now just so excited to have her nearby, because home isn't home unless she's round the corner for a cup of tea whenever I need her.
The feeling's mutual. Family means everything to Sam.
The last year, I have felt quite lonely being on my own. I've always known that family's important, hence me setting in stone the move and making tracks to do that. It really is a big thing for me to be closer to my family.
And Georgina will be right by her side, helping her choose her new home.
We are different in some ways, but similar in others. She's very practical, I'm very impulsive, and I think choosing where I'm going to live, that will really help. The move to Suffolk is everything to me. It's the dream. It's just everything I've wanted, and I'm super excited about it. Yeah, I think it's me time now.
Now, I think recent events have reinforced to many of us the importance of being close to family. So, after 12 years of living near Ramsgate, Samantha has now decided she wants to find a home much closer to her daughter, Georgina. And guess what? It's our job to help find her one.
For a budget of £320,000, Sam would love a character cottage with at least 2 bedrooms and around 1/4 of an acre outside, ideally with outbuildings for her business and parking for her customers. Location-wise, she'd like to be within a village community, preferably near the coast. We've chosen a great trio of properties for mother and daughter to view, and after seeing each one, they'll guess its price before I reveal it. Our last visit will be to the Mystery House, which will challenge just how much Sam is willing to roll up her sleeves. But first, we're catching up before we hit the road.
Welcome to Suffolk, particularly for you, Sam, because how well do you know this part of the world?
Not very well at all, unfortunately. I'm getting to know it and falling in love with it.
And you've been here a year or so, Georgina, haven't you, up towards the north-east of the county?
Yes, that's
You
right.
clearly sold this area to your mum.
I know, I didn't have to do a lot of work though, to be honest. Like, it sells itself, all the countryside, and it just suits Mum down to a T.
Okay.
So,
It is a gorgeous part of the world, because I grew up around here, so I can wax lyrical about it all day long. And clearly it's working its magic with you and now you as well, Sam.
definitely.
So, Georgina, I guess your role here really is to act as a sort of voice of reason. Is that fair?
Yes, I think so. Sometimes Mum can be a little bit hot-headed and impulsive, so I kind of have to tone her down a little bit and make her think a bit more realistically. But I will be visiting a lot, so hopefully there's room for me as well.
Excellent. Well, look, the weather is absolutely amazing, particularly for this time of year. Shall we go?
Yes.
Come on then. Let's see what we've got for you.
We're seeing just one property today, which is in the village of Ike in the east of the county. 1.5 miles down the road in the village of Rendlesham, there's a shop, a hairdresser's and a vet, perhaps somewhere Sam could establish some pooch parlour contacts. Nearby Rendlesham Forest became notorious in 1980 when a supposed UFO was thought to have landed in it. Back in the centre of Ike, at first glance there's nothing too unusual about the gorgeous Victorian cottage we've come to see either.
They've managed to kind of fit quite a lot into this. It is very quirky, and you did say you wanted something that wasn't
definitely.
just a modern box.
Yep,
This is not that.
great. I really like it. I like the look of it outside. Can't wait to see more.
Right then, well, let's see what you think of it. Follow me. We're going to go around the side.
There's no denying the immediate charm and character of this red brick cottage. But you can double that once across the threshold.
Right, Sam. I'm guessing this probably wasn't the sort of kitchen you were expecting from the outside.
No, wow. It's amazing.
It's fun, isn't it?
I love it, yeah.
I love the way they've done it.
Clearly, it was a small Victorian terrace cottage in its day, and it sort of still is, although they've pushed up into the roof space. It's just got something about it.
Yeah, it's definitely quirky.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of Mum, for sure.
Yeah, good, good. Well, I was, hoping
It's a good
it would be.
start.
Yeah.
Well, this theme continues through into the living room. Go on, George, lead on.
Okay.
Bear round to the left, you'll see the fire roaring away there.
Oh, yeah, look
Snuggle
at
up
that.
next to
That's
that.
lovely.
Have you ever been overlooked by a blue moose before?
No, first time for everything.
Oh, it's amazing.
That is.
Yeah, it's really quirky. I love it.
In terms of living space, I guess, is this going to be big enough? Because I know it's essentially just you most of the time and the dog.
You know, as it's just me and Oscar. I think we can, yeah. I think it could work.
You, Oscar, and maybe the moose.
Yeah.
Not sure it's got a name, but you could have one. Right, let's go upstairs. Come on.
To maximise space downstairs, a narrow staircase is tucked into the corner of the kitchen, which curves as it rises up to the first floor. Here there's a lovely spacious family bathroom, a single bedroom and a good-sized double. But we're heading another floor up.
It takes a little bit of climbing, but this is what they've achieved. with this dormer window up here in what was obviously once the attic space to give it a third bedroom.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I like it.
Where does Oscar sleep, dare I ask?
With me.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, right. So would Oscar cope with the stairs?
No.
That's what I thought straight away.
Yeah.
Because he's poorly at the moment.
Yeah.
So that would be an issue, sadly.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, you could, have this as guest room. George?
Yes.
Yeah. Could do.
But yeah, I think there's a lot going for it actually, and you get a glimpse of the view there that we're now going to see a bit more of from the garden, looking out across the floodplain of the Deben. So that's what the house offers you inside. The last bit then is to deal with the garden, which clearly in terms of the business and what potential that has is, I guess, the deciding factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right then, down we go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Slowly perhaps.
Yeah.
Outside, it's all about Sam's dog grooming business. And here, along with an outbuilding, a shed, the lawn for Oscar to play on, and the stunning outlook, there are options.
Well, I really have led you both up the garden path on this one, haven't I? Quite literally, to the end of this very long, thin, narrow garden. But it does afford you really lovely views. And I think in terms of space, I'm wondering whether you could actually build something bespoke for the dog grooming to fit this space.
Yeah, I think that would work really well.
So that's the proposition. Let's talk about the price then.
Okay. I am thinking 280.
£280,000.
Yeah.
Very considered. Yes, okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to go 290.
£290,000. Good estimates, both comfortably under budget.
Okay.
However, this could be yours for an asking price of £260,000.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's good.
Now, in fairness, there's a bit to do. Clearly, if you want to put the business here, you need to think about building something for it.
Yes.
Could you see your mum here?
I could actually. It definitely has potential for what she needs. So.
Well, go and explore it a little more at your leisure and take your time, and I will come and find you a little bit later on.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
This Victorian semi-detached home has swooped in £60,000 under budget. It's full of quirky character, has 3 bedrooms and a garden that could work for Sam's business. Location-wise, the cottage lies in a really pretty village.
So this space in here, it's like a little shed. Yeah.
How big is it?
I don't know if I could use that for grooming. I don't know whether that'd be big enough, I don't think. My first impressions of this property was I loved it, character was amazing, it was perfect really, what I was looking for.
The decoration, when I first walked in the house, I could tell that it would be something that would catch Mum's eye, and I know that it would kind of grasp her interest. The outside space is great, and the fact that she's got the space at the back to build her business up and make it completely her own from scratch, so that's amazing, and the views at the back were breathtaking.
Potential for my business, amazing. There's a lot I could do with it. There's lots of areas that the dogs can run around. I can see myself here. There's only one downside, is the stairs for Oscar. Sadly, that's the only thing that I would say that could not work.
Gosh, that really is a gorgeous view, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Stunning.
Have you seen enough of the property?
We have, thank you.
Well, I have observed that the sun is setting, and there is clearly a yard arm somewhere with a shadow over it, which means in my book it's time for a drink. Come on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Suffolk is beautiful in any season, but in autumn it's all about the kaleidoscope of colours from its trees. Making the most of the time of year, Sam and Georgina have come armed with their camera to Brandon Country Park. They're meeting professional dog photographer Nigel Wallace. This is an ideal skill for Sam to perfect. She loves photography, and of course she deals with dogs on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, hi folks.
Hi, Nigel.
Nice to meet you. This is Darcy. She's my border collie.
Hello, Darcy. Have you always had an interest in photography, Nigel?
Yes, I have. It's always been a hobby of mine. And then once I retired, I took up my photography again, and Darcy came along, and I just thought it would be a great idea to make a business out of it. This is my studio, and it's just brilliant. Do you do much dog photography yourself?
Yeah, I do, because I do dog grooming as a business,
yeah.
so I do lots of portrait shots.
What tips do you have for photographing dogs?
There are two key elements for dog photography. Tip number one is get down to the dog's eye level. And the second tip is make sure that you focus on the eye. Get the eye crystal clear and sharp.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah, come on then. Let's take Darcy and we'll go for a run.
Oh, bless her.
And with a willing model at hand, they can put that good advice into action.
Ready? Off you go.
The autumn leaves provide a beautiful, vibrant setting, the ideal backdrop for these avid photographers.
So I think this would be a great place to have a portrait shot of Darcy, because remember I said you need to focus on the eye.
Yep.
That's the critical part, and then we need to get down low, so we can try and get to her eye level. We've got Darcy in a really beautiful pose here.
Okay.
So I think we'll take a nice portrait of her looking straight at us.
Oh, it's beautiful. Darcy!
Good girl. And she's looking right at us. So how did that turn out, Sam?
Yeah, good. Look.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, composition looks really good.
Yeah, and the autumn colours are really popping out as well. Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, folks, so what we're going to do now is an action shot. So I want to get Darcy running towards us. I'm going to get right flat on the floor,
Yeah.
and then so I'm really close to the ground at her eye level.
You ready?
Okay. That was great.
That was great.
Yeah, that's good, wasn't it?
What a wonderfully compliant model! Mother and daughter are keen to see how the photos of her have turned out.
What I like about this photo really is you've got that entire autumn scene in there. The autumn colours are just absolutely popping out there. But critically, you've got her eyes pin sharp there.
It's lovely.
Perfect.
Well done, Ma. You did really well.
Yeah, just go out with your camera, have fun, practice, and just be at one with nature, because that's what it's all about.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So a lot to think about before we all get some rest and return to our property search first thing tomorrow. We're in Suffolk on the hunt for a countryside home for professional dog groomer Sam and her beloved pooch Oscar from near Ramsgate, Kent. Daughter Georgina has come along for moral support. On day 2 of our property search, we still have a whole lot of potential to unlock with our mystery house.
Looks interesting.
Yeah.
And I get to test my Saxon sea legs on dry land.
That is really difficult, actually.
But not before we start the day with a warming cuppa and a catch-up.
For a lot of people moving, Sam, it can be a challenge because often you're going to a place where you don't necessarily know anyone.
Yeah.
But I guess having George here is the other end of that emotional bridge that makes it work.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it sometimes I think, oh yeah, it can be quite daunting, but obviously having Georgina here obviously makes it a lot easier.
How many properties do you think you've looked at over the last few months?
Probably over 20.
Not just online?
No.
Wow. So are you trying to tell me in a subtle way that you're incredibly picky?
Yes.
So come on then, George, give me an inside steer on this. How will we all know if your mum knows it's the right house? Are we going to see tears, singing, dancing?
I'm not quite sure. I think maybe a mixture of everything.
Good. Well, we've got 2 more properties to come today, including our mystery house. So let's look out for those signs of reaction. Good ones, I hope.
Whatever they are.
For our next property stop, we're making our way to the village of Rickinghall. There's a lively community here, with activities for all ages and a local pub that welcomes families and their dogs. Residents don't have to go too far for groceries or a trim, and it's on the outskirts of the village that we find our next offering.
Right then, Sam. Well, we thought we would start today with this. What do you think?
Wow, that looks amazing. I really like the flint.
The flint look is very much a part of the region's architectural flavour. It's known as flushwork. It's put in by flint nappers, so they nap it flat often. But it's been used for thousands of years, and it's super strong. Is this the sort of thing you'd have come to look at if you'd seen it online?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So if it had been on your list of 20, you would have definitely come through the door?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Well, let's get you through the door of this one. Come and have a look.
This attractive property is thought to be around 270 years old. It started life as 2 workers' cottages before being knocked into one 20 years ago. Our tour starts in the dining room.
Right, guys, come on in. What do you think, George?
Yeah, I really like it.
Sam?
Oh, wow, it's amazing.
Cosy enough?
It's lovely. There's lots to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Where do you look first?
I'm excited. It's yeah.
So that big lump there, that's the central chimney breast that runs through the
okay.
building, all right? So that's why it's there. But you can access the living room, which is behind it, either side.
It's lovely.
Feels very homely straight
Yeah.
away.
Right, well, let's go through to the kitchen then. Let's have a look at that. Follow me.
As we leave the dining room, we're heading to the opposite corner of the house, which is a more recent addition.
Oh, this is lovely. Yeah, I really like it.
The space it offers you, I think, is lovely, and views out to the garden, as you can see. There's a lot to play with this.
Yeah, it's a nice space actually. It's not too small.
Yeah. And for you, George, do you think this is your mum?
Yeah, definitely. It's got that country Suffolk feel to it, that cottage style that she's looking for. So I think it definitely would work for her.
Good. Right then. I'm going to follow you this time. Lead us into the living room, just around the corner.
Okay.
Perfect.
Dive in behind that chimney breast. There we go. What do you reckon?
Oh, look at that. Look at the fireplace.
It's funny because when you walk in, you don't really see
Don't
that, do
know.
you? Until you turn around.
So cosy.
Yeah, love
Just
it.
imagine being wrapped up in winter.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what you make of what's on offer upstairs. You've got 3 bedrooms to explore there. I'm going to let you have the run of upstairs on your own without me, and we'll reconvene in the garden, which I can't wait to show you. Come on, find your way upstairs.
But that's not all for the ground floor. There's also a conservatory and, like many Victorian cottages, the bathroom's down here too. Upstairs there are 3 bedrooms, the smallest of which is in use as an office, and the largest is dual aspect.
It's a nice big room, Ma.
Oh wow, this is lovely, isn't it?
It's a good sized double.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh, it's another nice size, isn't
It's a
it?
good size. You've got a double bed in here, but you could use one of the bedrooms as a dressing room.
And a guest room, yeah.
You don't need any more than this, do you?
No.
So that's the inside covered and appreciated, it seems. Now for the $1 million question, what does this property have to offer Sam's business?
Well, guys, how are we doing?
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
thank
good.
you.
And what did you think of upstairs?
Really liked it.
And what about out here, Sam? You've got the raised beds here, obviously, and the compost area and so on, and the patio area down there, and a little bit of grass. Nice for Oscar to roll around on. But the key thing, Sam, is this outbuilding here. Now, it's currently divided into 2, but it's got power in it, insulation, etc. One half of it is a drumming studio.
Oh.
The other half is a workshop. There's only a stud wall between them. I think that, as your dog grooming facility, with access for your clients around the side of the property, might be a workable solution.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it.
OK, so let's finish up with the price.
I think 290,000.
Oh, OK, yeah. £290,000, says your mum, George.
I might go a bit higher.
Yeah?
I'm gonna guess 300,000.
£300,000, not much between you. It's on the market for £285,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Happy?
Yeah, definitely.
Right then, go and explore that outbuilding, and I will come and find you in good time.
Thank you.
Off you go.
This gorgeous brick and flint 18th century cottage is priced £35,000 under budget. It's bursting with period features, has 3 bedrooms and a garden with an outbuilding ideal for Sam's dog grooming business.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love this. Perfect.
Yeah, well, the wall's there, like Jules said, so you can knock that through if you needed more space for your grooming. There's so much you can do with the space.
Yeah, it would work great. Love it. I've been looking for a flint cottage, and it's amazing. When Jules brought me here, it was just absolutely perfect. It's what I've been looking for. Coming inside the property, it was lovely, wasn't it? It was very cosy, had a really nice feel about it.
Even though it was that Suffolk homely cottage, it still had that quirkiness to it with like the fireplace and everything. So yeah, I think that was definitely something that I noticed.
And also the stairs were perfect for Oscar.
Yeah, there's no issue there.
And the outside space.
Yeah, that was the cherry on the cake, I think.
Yeah, it all worked really well.
Well, I've got high hopes. This could be a real contender. Am I right? Is this on the list of possibles?
Yes.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Yeah, I really, really love it, Jules.
Good. Well, there is one more to come. Yes, it's not over till it's over. Come on.
Whatever the budget, and whether it's a temporary or a permanent move, Suffolk has lots of property choice on offer. This gorgeous detached barn in Eye could be just the thing to get onto the property ladder. It's got one bedroom and is priced at just under £188,000. For anyone thinking of renting before committing to buying, this lovely end-of-terrace 3-bedroom cottage in Baddingham costs £875 a month. It also has a large garden, ideal for young families. But if it's just a break you're after, and the idea of a weekend on the water floats your boat, how about a stay in this fabulous 100-foot 19th century Dutch sailing barge? It's moored at State Maltings, sleeps up to 8, has 3 bathrooms and is dog friendly. Prices start at £660 for 2 nights. And us? Well, we're heading towards the water too. Our final visit is to the village of Bordsey on the Deben Peninsula. Just across the water from Felixstowe, locals can make the most of the beautiful and tranquil setting where at low tide a small sandy beach is revealed. And that's exactly the spot I want to show Sam and Georgina.
Well, guys, before we get to our mystery house, I thought we would pause here because the weather is amazing. This is Bordsey at the mouth of the River Deben. Like it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
So peaceful.
But, you know, for getting out and about and walking and all the rest of it, this is the sort of thing that is absolutely on your doorstep if you like our mystery house.
Wow.
Because our mystery house is a walk that way.
No, really?
Yeah.
That close?
Well, you know, probably 10 minutes or so.
Oh, that would be amazing.
You did ask for a house potentially by the sea. It's not on the beach, but it's as near as it's going to
Close,
get
yeah.
at the moment.
Under a quarter of a mile from the sea, in a quiet pocket opposite agricultural land, our mystery house is this semi-detached Suffolk pink property that dates back to 1886.
Right, guys, I've torn you away from the beach at long last. So here we are. This is our mystery house. What do you think?
Looks interesting.
Yeah.
Your mum's looking a bit quiet.
Yeah, it's not a house that I would pick.
That surprises me because it's got that sort of classic Suffolk pink, and you responded to the flint build of our second property so well. I thought this might be your thing.
But the location and where it is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see what it's like inside.
Well, the inside is really the challenge with this one. It is, to be frank, I think, a bit of a project.
Okay.
But the key thing, apart from its location, is that it also comes with a 1/3 of an acre plot.
Oh, wow.
So you've got bags of outdoor space in which you can build a bespoke dog grooming setup. We haven't really talked about projects.
I feel like you're more likely to want something that's kind of livable straight away.
It's having the time and the money,
Yeah.
really. If it's that under budget, then obviously that would be better.
But I think because of where it is, that's why I thought this was worth showing to you. Because, you know, when everybody says we want coastal properties, the chances are the market just doesn't have any available that week. But we've been really lucky with this one. Come on, let's have a look.
The distinctive Suffolk pink colour wash on this house can be seen all over the county. Way back in the 14th century, The hue was achieved by adding elderberries or the blood of livestock to traditional lime wash.
Right, guys, come on in.
Yes, it's nice.
I like it. It's got a brick fireplace.
And it does depend on the budget. If there's a bit of room for, for me to do this, then that's great by me.
Excellent. Come and have a look through at the kitchen and tell me what you do with this. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's almost a sort of galley kitchen, although through that door you've got a downstairs loo and a bit more storage as well. Some of this, I suspect, you could lose, actually, and open it up more. But it also opens up into this little garden room here.
Oh, okay.
So my thought is that you could push the kitchen that way.
Yeah, that's what I just thought. Yeah, if you can't open that way, maybe that way.
Yeah, come through and have a look at the garden room, sort of, well, I say garden room, conservatory, really. I think there's probably quite a lot of scope with this to build something quite impressive that would push the whole footprint that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This timber feature,
Yeah.
if that were brick and you pushed it out more with a slate roof on it, it becomes a garden room / family room.
Okay.
And you could potentially push it further because there's nothing really
Yeah.
to worry about because you've got so much garden that way.
I mean, look at that view. That's amazing.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
It's all about where this one is, I think,
Yes.
as opposed to what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely got potential. I think we just need to see more, see what I can do.
Okay, go and explore upstairs without me.
Okay.
Get your thinking caps on and I'll meet you out in the garden because I think that's where it gets really exciting.
There's no doubt I can hear the wheels of Sam's mind whirring. And with the family bathroom on the ground floor, that leaves room for 3 good-sized bedrooms upstairs. The ladies are starting with the biggest.
So I think this would be your master. It's quite a nice size,
I
isn't
love
it?
this room, actually. This is really nice. Look at the views.
The light, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't beat those.
Oh, I like this room.
Oh, this is sweet, isn't it?
No, I like the shape of it. It's nice.
And you've got the toilet behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And the view
lovely.
again.
Yeah.
The inside might be a slow burner, but now for the outside space. It has a large and secluded lawn garden and comes with plenty of parking.
What do we think then? A project we're taking on, maybe?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Well, let's talk about the garden because I think this is one of the real selling points of this particular property. As I said to you before, it's a 1/3 of an acre plot. It has some mature shrubs, as you can see, but also, importantly, I think, the concrete bases for 2 enormous sheds. One is there and one is behind that great big bush. So I think there is plenty of space here to create a bespoke groom room type setup. How about that as a place to work?
Oh, amazing.
If we could afford it.
That's the question.
An estimate on our mystery house, please.
Okay, I'm going to guess £275,000.
Okay. Sam, what do you think?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You may agree. I'll take it then. £275,000 to be done from you two. You are, I'm afraid, a little bit under. This is higher. This is on the market for, wait for it, £276,000.
Wow.
That was a good guess there.
It was a very good guess. A very good guess. Well, you have done lots of research around it, let's be honest. So go and have a wander around. We won't spend long here because it is about to get dark. And then we'll get gone. The house is yours for a short time.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Our semi-detached Victorian mystery house might mean taking on a bit of a project, but there's great potential here. It comes with 3 bedrooms, a huge garden for Sam's business aspirations, and lies just a short stroll from the sea.
I absolutely love the location in this property. For business purposes, I think it works really, really well.
I think personally it's too much of a project. I think you want something more that you can move into and you would just have to renovate something slightly for your business and not for like every day.
Oh, you're so realistic. But yeah, you're totally right. It's, I think it probably would be too big a project for me. If I wanted to get the business up and running fairly quickly, I wouldn't have the time to do it, sadly, I think. Also, for me, this move is a new chapter, and I did say I wanted to slow down a little bit. So, yeah, I think that sort of answers my question, really.
We couldn't come to Suffolk and not finish with a classic pink building, could we? This Suffolk pink, so famous here. That, I'm afraid, is it, chaps. House tours are over. Happy?
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much.
Well, it's a pleasure. I mean, the job is now yours to try and make sense of it all.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
From one stretch of spectacular Suffolk coastline to another. And this spot, in Woodbridge, holds a huge amount of fascination for me. In 1939, an Anglo-Saxon longship was discovered buried at Sutton Hoo on local landowner Edith Pretty's land. It had lain there for 14 centuries. In 2016, a charity was set up to recreate what will be the only ship of its kind in existence today. Philip Leach is chair of the charity.
Hello, Philip. Very nice to see you. To talk about one of the most remarkable archaeological discoveries of all time, certainly of British history, the Sutton Hoo ship burial.
Absolutely. Mrs. Pretty, who owned the estate, had a dream, and she dreamt that under one of the mounds of the estate there was a buried ship. And she sent her gardener, who Basil Brown is an amateur archaeologist, to dig, and he found it. A great treasure trove had been found, which is now, you can see it in the British Museum. Nothing was left of the ship itself, but just in the acid sand of the mound, there was a perfect outline, 26 ribs, 3,000 rivets, and 90 feet long. Huge open wooden boat, which we later found had been used to bury King Radwold, who died in 624.
A Saxon king with all the finery and gold and treasure one could imagine, and more.
If you think of pulling 9 tons of boat up a hill through the sand and mud, and then digging a hole big enough for it to be buried with the king, with all due dignity and with all his treasure. What an effort.
But the really exciting thing, Philip, is that you're now setting about trying to bring this ghost ship back to life, rebuilding it in all its finery.
Well, I'd like to say it was reconstructing. That implied that we had something to start with, more than a shadow in the sand. But yes, we are creating the biggest experimental archaeology project in Europe. And you only need to go up the river 100 yards to see the shed in which we're building it.
Well, I'm very excited to get a closer look at what you're doing and just see how far you've got with the rebuild of this astonishing vessel. Let's have a look.
In 2 months' time, work will start on the full-size recreation of the ship, which will take 2.5 to 3 years to complete. Before this begins, a 1/5 scale model of the ship has been created to check the design will produce a seaworthy vessel. Around 30 volunteers help here under the guidance of a master shipwright, and Jack Barnard is the project manager.
Wow, what the perfect place to build a longship. So behind you I can see this graphic. Is that how big the finished article will be?
It is. It's incredible, isn't it? We're doing this because we've got the amazing plans that were formed from the rivet positions. You see the dots on this banner behind you.
They're all the rivets that were found impressed into the soil.
Absolutely.
And how optimistic are you that when you finish this, it will be as accurate as it can be?
Very optimistic. I mean, you know, the work that we're putting in at this experimental stage will pay dividends when we actually build the ship.
A full-scale model of a section of the middle of the ship has also been built to work out where the flooring and seating will go, as no information exists about this key part of the vessel.
Yeah, this is where it gets really exciting for me. You just get such a sense of the enormity of it. You know, ordinarily when you're rowing a boat, you're sitting pretty close together.
Yeah.
But you imagine the other guy is going to be over there.
But to row, I mean, this looks fairly heavy. Is it? Can I?
Want to have a go?
Give it a whirl.
Yeah. So this was made this week by one of our volunteers.
Oh, was it? Oh my God!
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
That is really difficult, actually. It's so heavy.
Experiment number 1, they were not that big and that heavy.
I'm going to give it back to you now.
Yeah. Perhaps we could do it together. That's right. Plenty of experimentation to be done, and we're going to need 40 of these. You know, a minimum of 40 of these. So, you know, we've got a lot of work to do.
But also I think, you know, once it's built and finished, you can just see how easy it was to sail or not, how far you could go, what it could carry, and ultimately what it was used for. There's so much to learn when this is complete.
Absolutely. So a couple of years' time, I should be looking for at least, 100 oarsmen so that I can always get a crew of 40 to start taking it out to do the experiments on the water.
Count me in. Count me in, Jack. It'll be an absolute pleasure. Well done, and I can't wait to see it finished. Thanks for showing me around.
You're welcome.
Well, we've seen a great range of property this week, so I'm keen to know what's next for Sam. The question is, I suppose, have we found a suitable candidate? Have we found you a favourite?
Yeah, clear favourite.
Yeah.
I thought so. And I'm going to put my finger in the air and say it's number 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. It's got everything that I was looking for.
I knew that she would love it.
Yeah.
I could imagine you moving in very quickly and being up and running very quickly.
Without a doubt. And it also had the dog walks, it had the village,
Yeah.
it had the sense of community.
But you have looked at so many properties thus far. I mean, where does our property number 2 come out of 10 with everything you've seen up to now?
Oh, it's top. I mean, it's definitely one that I will go away tonight and, seriously think about putting an offer in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
I think-
surprised. Are you surprised?
No, I feel like it's definitely a good fit for her. Yeah.
Brilliant, guys. Well, clearly you need to go back and have another look, explore the village and the wider area. So I look forward to hearing good news, I hope.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey, and thank you for taking the time to show us round.
If we've got you a way further forward to finding your new home here in Suffolk, I am delighted. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For centuries, this region has played a pivotal role in the story of our nation and has welcomed settlers from all over the UK and further afield. Speaking as somebody who was lucky enough to grow up here, I can assure you there is much to recommend it, particularly on a gorgeous day like today. And now, with any luck, it will welcome one more new resident in the form of Sam, who hopefully sometime very soon will be living her new life in a gorgeous cottage in the heart of Suffolk's countryside. I'll see you next time.
Sam did put in an offer on the Flint cottage, but the vendor couldn't move quickly enough. She's since found another period property and hopes to start a new life in Suffolk with her dog very soon. If you would like to escape to the country in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales or England and need our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/take part.